Okay, so we actually need to talk about Tana Mongeau for a second because somehow she is getting pulled into drama again. And it is kind of wild because lately she has been trying really hard to stay in her little brand safe era and not get messy online. But the drama still found her anyway.
I was just listening to Tana on a podcast. I know I said I was done watching her stuff because it made me sad, but that did not last long. But something she said really confused me, and this is something that I see a lot in my comment section. She was yeah, people like Tara's World, that are just so much younger than me. I see doing behaviors that I used to do and acting out in these ways that I used to do and doing all these bad things. She was talking as if she was looking out for me because I'm going down a wrong path. I'm what?
Now Terry is basically calling Tana out after some comments Tana recently made about her, and people online are definitely paying attention to that situation. And honestly, that is not even the only thing people are talking about right now. Jeff Wittek also started addressing why him and Tana have not really been making content together anymore.
Influencer shit all the time. Even though you also have a lot of influencer friends now. You got Tana, you got Mike.
I don't have Tana anymore.
Wait, you don't have Tana anymore? Is there drama?
Yeah.
Which is interesting because for a long time they were always filming together. Tana was on Jeff FM all the time, constantly showing up, and at one point they were even planning to work on a whole show together, but lately things just seem different between them. But the thing is, people have started noticing that Tana and Jeff honestly have not really been seen together much lately, which is kind of sad for fans because a lot of people really like their dynamic. Viewers watch them go through a lot over the years, so seeing them drift a little feels strange. And if you remember, back when Jeff was still dealing with everything from the whole David situation, things were actually a little complicated between them. Tana was still being friendly with David at the time and even showing up at some of his parties, and that definitely hurt Jeff's feelings. People online were talking about it a lot. But over time, things shifted. Tana started listening to Jeff more and also seeing what people were saying about the situation, and she slowly distanced herself from David. Eventually, she even started calling David out publicly and showing full support for Jeff, and fans noticed that immediately. A lot of Jeff's supporters actually gave Tana a lot of love because they felt like she was really stepping up and being a loyal friend to him. She clearly understood that Jeff felt seriously wronged in that whole situation, and she stood by him for a long time. But now, it kind of feels like the vibe between them has changed. Jeff has even started talking more openly about how they are not as close as they used to be. And not long ago, he was on a stream where someone asked about Tana, and he explained that her having a boyfriend also played a part in things, saying it just cannot really be the same dynamic they had before.
Wait, you don't have Tana anymore? Is there drama?
Yeah.
What happened? I haven't been paying attention.
No, she just has a boyfriend. The fuck?
So?
It's weird if you're so close.
With such a handsome guy? Are you saying? You're
imagine you're Tana's,
I'm so fucking hot.
Boyfriend.
I'm so fucking hot.
Imagine you're Tana's boyfriend.
I'm imagining.
Imagine what you would have to deal with knowing that Tana's coming to hang out with me. Your girlfriend's coming to hang out with me.
Yeah,
we're gonna be alone together.
Yeah, you're such a sexual dynamo.
He knows, you know I'm a good guy, and I follow the.
I don't know.
But imagine you're, this Hawaiian guy.
I don't know that.
That fucking knows nothing about anything except for surfing,
Yeah.
And honestly, another thing people think might have made their friendship a little awkward is when Jeff started reconnecting with Todd last year. Because if you remember, Tana and Todd actually had a bit of a moment before that when she was trying to defend Jeff, and it got kind of uncomfortable. So Tana talked about this on an episode of Jeff FM, and the story was actually pretty interesting. She said she had recently run into someone from the vlog squad who told her they missed Jeff. And when she heard that, she was basically like, wait, what? If you miss him so much, why are you telling me instead of telling Jeff yourself? She literally called it out and was like, why are you being weird about it? Just go talk to him. She was basically saying you do not need permission from anyone to be friends with someone. She was saying you do not have to follow David's rules or whatever people think the rules are. Just reach out and be friends with who you want to be friends with. And a lot of people assumed she was talking about Todd. At the time, Todd was dating Natalie, and Natalie is obviously very close to David, so people felt like Todd probably did not want to create drama inside that friend group. But that was exactly why Tana found the whole thing frustrating. she thought it made no sense that someone would say they missed Jeff, but still refused to actually reach out because they wanted to stay loyal to David, especially after everything Jeff went through. So Tana actually talked about this whole situation on her podcast first, and then later, she brought it up again on another podcast. At the beginning, she did not say any names. She was being kind of careful about it, but pretty quickly, people started connecting the dots and realized she was most likely talking about Todd. Then she shared another story about running into him again later, and this time it happened at a movie premiere. And apparently things got really tense between them. Todd was upset because he believed she had talked about him on the podcast when she mentioned someone from the Vlog Squad saying they missed Jeff. And Tana was basically like, wait a minute, I did not even say your name. But according to her, he was still pretty heated about it and started arguing with her over the whole thing. That is when he said something like there are two sides to every story. And the way Tana explained it, she felt like he was hinting at there being David's side and Jeff's side. When people heard that, a lot of viewers were immediately confused. They were like, what other side even is there? Because from their perspective, Jeff had already shared what happened publicly. So hearing someone bring up two sides made fans feel like Todd might have been defending David at the time. But then things changed again later. Recently, people saw Todd reconnecting with Jeff, which surprised a lot of viewers. Around that same time, Todd and Natalie had broken up, and since Natalie is extremely close with David and even works with him, many people believe Todd slowly got pushed out of that friend group. And before long, it looked like he was completely out of the Vlog Squad circle. So then Todd suddenly starts hanging out with Jeff again, and let me tell you, the comment sections noticed that immediately. People were watching the whole thing like, wait a second, what is going on here? A lot of viewers were basically saying Jeff should maybe be a little careful about jumping right back into that friendship. Because from the outside, people felt like the timing looked very convenient. Todd had just fallen out with the Vlog Squad, and then all of a sudden he was reconnecting with Jeff again. So fans were like, is he really coming back because he suddenly realized Jeff was treated badly? Or is it because he got pushed out of the group and needed somewhere else to go? People were straight up saying in the comments that it looked like Todd got iced out and then came running back to Jeff after that happened. Not because he had some big realization about the past, but because he was no longer tight with the same circle anymore. Then Todd actually went on Jeff's podcast, and of course the old drama with Tana came up during the conversation. But this is where things got kind of confusing. Todd said that he thought Tana had accused him of assaulting her during that movie premiere situation. According to Todd, the only thing he said he did was cover her face in a photo that was being taken. He made it sound like he believed Tana had claimed something way more serious happened, like he physically hurt her or something like that. But that was never what Tana said at all. What she actually described was that he yelled at her during that moment and brought up the whole two sides to every story comment, which she believed was him defending David. And while they were talking about it, Jeff honestly seemed a little lost about the whole situation. When Todd mentioned the two sides comment, Jeff thought he meant that Todd had one side of the story and Tana had another side, which made the conversation even more confusing for everyone watching. So the whole thing was actually a big misunderstanding, because when Tana originally told the story, she was saying that Todd was talking about Jeff and David having two sides to the story. She was never saying Todd had a side and she had a side. And she definitely was not accusing him of anything serious like he seemed to think. Later on, Tana talked about it again when she was on a podcast with Trisha, and she sounded honestly shocked that the story had gotten so twisted. She basically said she could not believe Todd misunderstood it that badly and explained that during that time, she already had a lot going on in her life. So in her mind, it would make no sense for her to randomly make something up about Todd just for content. But fans were also watching Jeff during all of this, and some people felt like he was not defending Tana the way they expected him to. A lot of viewers thought he should have stepped in more since they had been such close friends for so long. Then Jeff tried to clear things up later by bringing Tana onto the podcast while Todd was there too. It was kind of like a surprise situation where he hoped they could talk it out. But according to people who watched it, the conversation did not really go smoothly at all. Over the past few months, Jeff has also been posting podcast episodes a little less consistently than before. But now that he has started uploading more again, fans notice that Todd has been appearing on the show more often, which really shows that their friendship is solid again. And at one point, someone even commented saying, "We want Tana, not Todd." And Jeff replied, I tried. The Tana we once knew is not around anymore, unfortunately. So yeah, hearing that honestly made a lot of fans sad, because for a long time, Tana and Jeff had such a fun dynamic together, and people loved their back and forth energy. Seeing that they are not really in that same place anymore definitely disappointed a lot of viewers. So honestly, people are still trying to figure out what exactly caused the distance between Jeff and Tana. So tell me what you think, because I know people have opinions about this whole thing. Seriously, I want to read what everyone is saying about it. All right, that is it for now. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you again in the next video. Bye, guys.